Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Verse 2. And the woman said, the serpent said, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4. Then the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Verse 5. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Historical context. In ancient Hebrew culture, the snake was a symbol of deceit and cunning, which the serpent's tactics would reinforce. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and covered themselves. Historical context. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, the first humans, Adam and Eve, were said to have worn clothes made from leaves after eating forbidden fruit. Verse 8. Then the man and his wife heard the voice of the Lord God as he walked in the garden in the cool of the day, saying, Where art thou? Verse 9. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife did hide themselves among the trees of the garden. Verse 10. But the Lord God called unto the man, and said unto him, Where art thou? Verse 11. And he said, Behold, I was hiding myself because I was naked, so I hid myself. Then God asked the question, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Didst thou eat of the tree, which I commanded thee not to eat? Verse 12. And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest unto me, she gave me the fruit of the tree, and I did eat. Verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Verse 14. So the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Historical context. In biblical theology, God's judgment on the serpent represents a curse that would affect all creation, highlighting the consequences of sin. Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, in pain thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Verse 18. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Historical context. The biblical notion of humans laboring to survive after the fall represents a fundamental shift in human existence, where sin's consequences became the norm. Genesis. Chapter 4. Verse 1. Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2. And again she bare his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3. And in process of time it came to pass, that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of their fatness. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 7. Is not the voice of thy brother crying? Is he not right? Verse 8. Then Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Wherefore art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 10. Thou hast a wickedness at hand to slay me. The ground which opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy own hand. Verse 11. Is crying with a voice, saying, What hast thou done? The voices of thy brethren are crying. Verse 12. And Cain said, Who is he that findeth me? And I shall slay him as I have slain Abel. Verse 13. Then Cain knew Abel his brother not to be found, and it came to pass, when he were entered into the tabernacle of the Lord, that he lifted up his voice and cried. Verse 14. Who hath wronged me, that I may avenge myself? And Cain said, A fathom deep will I slay him, yea, even from the house of my father unto the land which is far away. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, Wherefore art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 16. The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Verse 17. Wherefore, cursed be thou from off the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy own hand. Verse 18. When thou hast tilled the earth, thou shalt not any more tread upon it, a vagabond, and a fugitive art thou in the earth. Verse 19. And Cain said, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 20. So Cain went out from the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. Historical context. This chapter highlights the struggle between two brothers, Cain and Abel, who represent the earliest human societies, where agriculture, Cain, and herding, Abel, were fundamental to their survival. Genesis. Chapter 5. Verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In his days he lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness, and called his name Seth. Verse 2. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begot other sons and daughters. Verse 3. And all the days that Adam lived were 930, and then he died. Verse 4. And Seth lived 105 years, and begot Enos. Verse 5. And Seth was 503 years old when he begot Enos. Historical context. The genealogies in Genesis 5 provide a record of the ancestors of Noah, who is considered the father of the post-flood world. Verse 6. And Enos lived 85 years, and begot Cainan. Verse 7. And Enos was 403 years old